Hey, I am feeling nostalgic today again. There's really only one downside to my tiny home. I'm going to tell you about it. Hi, I'm Diane. I only have one negative thing to say about my tiny house. When I moved in, I was used to cooking large meals. Actually, every day. I never knew who was going to show up to eat. I was the grandmother. People came to my house all the time. I didn't lock the doors because people were in and out all day long, every day. I worked there. I had a workroom there. That's where I worked. And then late in the afternoon, I would stop and go to the kitchen and start cooking. And everybody knew I was going to cook. And I never knew who was going to show up. This was a many years thing. When my kids were in high school, I cooked large meals every night. They would bring their friends home to eat. It was just always what I did and what I was used to. And then when I moved to my tiny house, I couldn't have done that if I had wanted to. I had very limited counter space. Just fixing myself a meal was all the space that I had room for. And I started regretting not moving in my tiny house, but regretting not having the space to feed my family. Isn't that what we do? Isn't that what mothers do and grandmothers do? We feed our family. I remember as soon as someone walked in the door, I'd go, "Are you hungry?" Because I always had something to fix them or something left over in the fridge. Yeah, that was hard for me. That was very hard for me. So, like if someone came, like say one of my children with their mate, with say 2 children, okay, that's 5 of us in a small room. Now I had a kitchen that had a sofa in it and 2 chairs up against the wall with a dining table. That would let down if I needed it to be moved out of the way. Let down flat against the wall. So I had a sofa and 2 chairs in that room. So I could only host one family at a time. So I had this deck. I had a deck on the front of my tiny house. It was huge. It was 40 foot long, 10 foot wide. It was very pretty. Very, very pretty. I had plants and outdoor furniture with cushions, and I loved looking at it. But I have allergies and I never went out there really. And in the summertime it was too hot because it wasn't covered. So I'm looking at that deck and I watched these guys build it. It is solid. Yeah. It has a whole bunch of posts in the ground with cement. I knew it was solid. Real thick wood, all of it. And I'm thinking, what if I build a sunroom on top of my deck? Then all of my kids would fit in there. So, now that year, truly, I worked my butt off. I really did. I had a very good year. Very good year. I had put money back, and I thought, maybe it would be in my best interest to build a sunroom so that I could see all of my family together at the same time. So I got a contractor to come and tell me how much he would build it for. $15,000. I thought, that's pretty good. So that's what I did. And then after it was built, I was so excited just thinking about getting to host my family again. So that was in the summer, so I had plenty of time to get it ready. I actually moved the large sofa that was in my small kitchen, moved it to one end of the sunroom, and I bought a table on Amazon that was 6 foot long. I would have liked it to have been longer, but you know, it's all I could afford. And some inexpensive chairs. And I thought, yeah, I can have all this ready by Christmas and I can host Christmas here. I was very excited about it. So, I have a video of right after I finished my sunroom. I'm going to link it below. I made it a long time ago. You know, when I was first trying to get a channel started. But it's a very good video. I'm very proud of that video. I don't even remember how I put it together, but I did. And I love it. I like it a lot. So I'm going to link it below. So you'll notice in that video, at one end of the sunroom, I have that table and chairs, which will seat most of my family. And I have the large sofa at the other end and some various chairs. And I had 2 sets of folding tables that the rest of the family could put in front of the chairs or the sofa. And I counted and recounted and counted. Yeah, it would fit everyone. So I was pretty excited about that. Well, it got closer to Christmas. And as a matter of fact, my son was taking me on a vacation after this Christmas to Ocracoke Island because he knew it was my favorite place to visit. I love it there. It's off the coast of North Carolina. But anyway, I was going to host Christmas that year. Well, the day before Christmas Eve, we had a severe freeze warning. It was awful. It was going to be in the single digits. Sure enough, it was. Now let me tell you the preparation I made. I bought the food. It was going to be catered. Of course, I couldn't cook all of that in my home. So I had bought it. And I also bought all of these warming utensils, you know, that keeps food warm. I bought 3 of them. So it would keep everything that I had bought warm and would be able to serve all of my family. I had gotten card tables that you can raise, and had put all of that there, ready for the food. I mean, I was prepared. I was ready. Well, my pipes froze in my tiny house. I didn't have water. The commode wouldn't flush. There was just no way I could have company. My hopes were dashed. I was very, very sad about that. But the good thing is my daughter lives next door. She still had water. We just moved everything over there, you know, the hot plates and all of that, and the plates and the cups and drinks and all of that. And then we went and picked up the food as we had planned on doing anyway. So we had Christmas at my Ashley's house, which was okay and very convenient. I'm glad it happened that way because as I was looking at everybody there at Ashley's, I'm thinking we would have been stepping all over each other. I mean, it was like 20 people. So I'm kind of glad it happened that way. Kind of. But it's still, I had spent a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of effort trying to make that happen. It was just a fleeting wish, for the past. Just a longing that I had to have my family at my home again. So I finally let that dream go. I said, no, I can't do that. I'm glad it happened that way. I am. So I gave it up. I sold my table that was brand spanking new. Never had a meal at it. I sold it. And I sold it for almost the same thing I gave for it. And they came and picked it up. So it was very weird how that happened. It was people from Florida that were moving to Huntsville, Alabama. And they would be passing through here and picked it up on the way on the move. So that worked out well. I was glad to be rid of it. And then I decided, okay, I want to paint more, so I'll just turn this into half of the room into a painting room, which worked out okay as well. So everything works out for the best, I suppose. And my life is what it is. I've accepted it, and I didn't dwell on that. And I've gone on. Now I can live with my memories of my family in my larger home, which is across the fence that I see every day. And I don't long for it. I do not. I do not. I'm too happy in my tiny house to wish I still lived there. I don't. My daughter and I, Ashley, we built a 9-foot farmhouse table that weighed a freaking ton. I mean, we glued it together, screwed it together. It was awesome. I carved 2 crosses on each end of the table. I did. And then inside the cross, I crackled it. Yeah. It was very, very unusual and large and rustic. I mean, me and my daughter built it. It was rustic. But, it housed all of my family. It was so long that we all fit. We all fit. And it was wonderful. I had Thanksgiving plates. I had Christmas plates. I loved decorating the table. I had name tags where each person would sit. I just loved hosting holidays with my family. There was never a lull in conversation. It was loud with a lot of laughter. It was some good times. And that's what I will hang on to, my memories of those days when we still had Kurt. Yeah, because see, things are not the same anymore. I can't wish for them to be the same. I should not have even tried. It was a lesson learned. Yes, I miss it all. I do. I do. And I know many of you have nostalgic feelings this time of year, also missing loved ones, your mates, or other children. I know that. And some of you can't be with your families this year. I understand. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But all we can do is proceed into a new life, into the way it is, and be grateful for what we have at this particular time in our life. And that's what I've done. I love my tiny house. I have no regrets. And that one downside of my tiny house is gone and forgotten. So my tiny house is perfect for me. It's perfect. There is nothing I would change, even if I could. Nothing. So, I am wishing you all the best holiday possible, because I love you all, and love is coming your way. Love you.